Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. I'm James and you're watching Blue Dog Aquatics. Alright everybody, welcome back. You know, I said in my first video that if I got, I think it was what, 200 likes, that I was going to set up this tank here. Well, you know, we're still so new and everything, and our name's getting out there that we didn't hit 200. We're really at like 8. So make sure to go ahead down and like and subscribe. That way we can get these videos up. But, you know, we're going to go ahead and set it up anyway because I got something specially in store for you. This is a 12-gallon rimless. It's all clean and everything. Now, it is sitting on a metal rack. What we did is, this is actually a painted piece of plywood, and that's just to help protect the tank. It's a completely flat surface, so that there's no damage or no stress points on the tank. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start adding some substrate here. We're going to do a full setup of this tank right for you. Like I said in the last video, I like using Fluval Stratum. This is the volcanic soil for, or the substrate for planted aquariums. I have a little bit from my last bag. It was already half open, so we washed it just to make sure any debris or foreign contaminants were off of it. But this is the stuff, so let's get into it. Alright guys, like I said, this is the wet stuff, so that's why you're seeing a little bit of water with it. We washed it just with some straight water. RO is what I use anytime I clean soil. But we're just getting a base coat. I'm putting some of this wet stuff on the bottom, and then we're going to go over it with dry on the top when we start designing and start scaping this setup for you guys. Now, I recommend anytime you scape that you do a dry run. Before we actually started this video, we actually set up a full mock-up of what it's going to be, and then we took it all apart just for you guys. We'll make sure to go through and walk you through what lights we're using and everything like that. Give me a minute here. We're just opening up the new bag of substrate, and this stuff I'm just going to kind of pour in over the top. Now, depending on your your Aquascape, depends on how much substrate you want into the aquarium. We're going to do kind of a detailed scape, so I'm putting it a little bit thicker, and if I need to add some, I will. Yep, I think I'm going to add a little bit more in this corner. No, it's more than a little bit, but hey, it works. Alright, so now we got the substrate in here. Now here's the cool part, what we're doing. Check out this guy. Hi. Alright, so you guessed it, we're doing a skeleton tank. I love Halloween and everything that goes with Halloween. I've always wanted to set up a Halloween tank, and so this guy is just going to be a nice skeleton setup. So we're going to make sure there's nice substrate in the corners. Now we're going to angle it a little bit so that way it stays in place. We're going to have him a little half buried. Now this is an aquarium safe skeleton. If you do order them online, make sure to get the aquarium safe ones. This guy, he was pretty well sealed, and so what we did is we actually went through and drilled out holes. That way all the air can escape because it's a sealed unit. Yep, just doing a little bit there, along the jawline. Fill it up a little bit. Pull some of that wet stuff, get it stick. And There's the first piece. This is the skeleton. Now we're doing much more in this. So the next piece I'm pulling in is going to be a piece of the spine. Now, I know this is not actual size, but this is a 12-gallon tank, so we can't put a full skeleton, so we kind of chopped him in. I mean, look, he's still flexible, even after death. So, what we're going to do is we're actually going to stick this one down where it's a little bit. We're going to cover up the base of it, where it's coming out. See, this is why it's better to start with a little bit of substrate. We're probably going to have to add some in. There we go, that's sticking out. Make that clean, nice look. Now the next thing that we're going to add are, well, every skeleton needs a set of hands. Now, let's make sure that I can put him in the tank correctly. Alright, so we're going to make him look like, you know, he's just resting in peace here. You know, we're going to make him cross his fingers just over his spine like you would on your stomach, but guess what? You don't have a stomach no more, dude. We're going to cover up the base of the hand. Just kind of make it look like he's half in the ground, half out. Alright, so we're running a little low on substrate, so we're going to add some more. Now, every substrate, you know, or every tank you set up is going to be a little bit different. You know, you're not going to necessarily have, like most of my tanks have a little tiny bit of amount of substrate. This one, because it's more intricate and has a lot of big pieces, like part of his hip, then you're going to need a little bit more substrate so that you can mount all the pieces in place, and it's just going to hold it. You know what? I think I don't like that, so I'm going to move it back a little bit. I think, yeah, we should move it up. There we go. So, this is actually going to be a shrimp tank, and so I want to make sure that everything, that's actually another reason why I drilled the holes. The shrimp have a place to hide, kind of like you would with a rock. The same with, you know, the hands, there's lots of room for them to move in and out. The hip, it's a big piece, and so I want to make sure that it can't come loose and injure one of the shrimp. So, next, I know these aren't leg bones, these are arm bones. Couldn't tell you what they are, but we're going to add them in here. Now, so we're going to start doing the feet. So we're going to put that up at an angle. Oh, didn't drill them. So they're so because I forgot to drill them, I'm going to have to drill them real quick. Like I said, they're going to have air inside of them, and so when you fill this tank up with water, it's going to want to pull them to the surface because there's no way for that air to escape. So, hang tight real quick, and we'll get these drilled. Hey, welcome back. We went through and drilled them. I just put little pilot holes. They're going to be under the soil, so they don't have to be too clean. You're not going to see them. If they are going to be presentable and there's going to be a hole, you want to make them look really clean. But that's my personal opinion. You know, to each their own with their own tank. So, oops, sorry, put that in the back. Alright, so we got the leg / arm bone going in. We're going to build up underneath so that, like I said, there's no way of it coming loose. Another way, if it's going to be a permanent tank and nothing's ever going to move in it, which I've redesigned so many tanks, that's why I don't glue anything. But if you know it's going to be something there forever, you can take aquarium safe sealant or glue and put a little dab on it. It doesn't take much, and secure it to the glass on the bottom. Now, last but not least, we have the feet. I know these are a little deformed. I mean, Still look better than my feet, but it is what it is. Alright, so these guys are going to go right here on the end. And I think we are going to need a little, just a tad bit more substrate. And that's just to hold these big old glutes in place. Yeah, I think we're going to add just a little bit more. We do want to make sure, make it look like he's buried alive, so. Or that someone freshly dug him up. So we're going to kick some of that around the side. Kick this over here. Alright, beautiful. You know, I'm going to turn that way it doesn't look natural. Alright, so next up what we're going to do is we're going to get some water. I'll walk you through what filtration and what filters. Actually, I can do that right now. So the filter I'm using is a Mignon Filter 240. This is a new filter that I've never messed with before, but it does have 4.9 out of 5 ratings, so I decided I'd give it a whirl. The one thing that did catch my eye that I liked is that it has the film or the foam on the bottom to keep shrimp and everything from coming and getting sucked into the filtration. And like I said, when we were talking about the show tank a couple of weeks ago, that was definitely a concern, and that's why we always put foam or carbon pad on the bottom. So we're going to unpackage that. We can get rid of the box. Pull everything out here. It's nice and neatly packaged. Wow, that's a really crisp look. That's a really clean look on it. So we got the lid. We got the little piece for the bottom. If you look in there, it's already got the carbon pad and the little tiny filter. It's got the adjustment flow rate there. So what we're going to do is we're going to set it on the back to see how many extensions we need. So I think we're just going to need the one piece for the bottom. I don't think we're going to go with, so it comes with an extender. This extender right here, and we're not going to need it. This filter is rated up to 20 gallons, so it'll be more than enough for this tank. You can never go wrong with too much filtration. That is 100%. You can ask any person that's been in the hobby and they'll tell you the same thing. It's better to go overkill than under. So we're going to move this piece right up here on the bottom. And that's beautiful. Covers up all the intakes. Does exactly what it said it was going to do. Set that in there. I think we're going to set it right next to the arm. Okay. Alright, so we took out this little piece right here, what it's designed for. So if you look at it right now and we set it on the tank, this moves a lot, which means that it's not going to filter right. And so this little piece is actually designed as a leveling device here. You can rotate it. It's just a simple push in. So that's a little bit closer. We're going to adjust it a little further out. And there we go. That's absolutely perfect. Like I said, we're going to pump that. Yeah, we'll do it right there. Fix the substrate. Put this in the box. Alright. We're going to leave the lid off for now, just because we got to add water. So hang tight. We're going to go grab some RO water. Alright guys, we grabbed some water here. We're going to start adding. Now, here's a little trick in order to not mess up your substrate. Just a little bag. This is one of the bags that we use to send our shrimp out in. What you do is you just lay it over your substrate. because if you pour directly on your substrate, it's going to dig a hole. Now, one of the things that we might run into with adding the water is that, so since these are plastic, all these pieces, they're going to fill up with air, and so they might float. And so what we'll do is we'll flip them upside down, get all the air out underwater, and then reset them. So we got the RO water here in a little 5-gallon jug. Look at how clean that is. Yep, we're going to open up the breather on the back. And this just makes it a lot more smooth, where you're not digging a rut. We're going to have to reset some of the pieces, but that's not a big deal. As you can see, we added water. It's a little murky. You can tell when we were adding in the water that a couple of pieces came up because they still had air trapped in them. So we got all the air out of them, got them put down, but unfortunately, as you can see, it disturbed the substrate, which made it a little murky. Now it'll be good to go again in a couple of hours. So we'll make sure to shoot footage, and you know, it'll be nice and clear for you guys so you can see what our finished product is. Now, the light up here, we put that on there with the lid, and the light is actually a Fluval. It does the lightning storm. I have it on a couple of different tanks only because I love seeing all the different colors that it can change, and you know, you can program these things to do all kinds of settings. We got the filter going, which it's running really nicely. It's gonna be working overtime trying to get this substrate settled down. But now, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to comment down below. This tank's gonna be cycling for the next 4 weeks, and then we're gonna add some replenishing to get some of the nutrients back in for whatever shrimp we decide. I want you to comment down below because I want you to help me decide what shrimp to put in here. I have so many, and I'm having a hard time deciding which. So make sure to do that for us. Also, make sure to check out our website at www.bluedogaquatics.org and our Facebook and Instagram at bluedogaquatics. Also, at Teespring, if you go on my Facebook, I have the link to Teespring. We partnered up with them, and we're selling all kinds of new merchandise. So go ahead and check that out. We'll drop the link down below for you guys, as well as for the Facebook, Instagram, and the website. Now stay tuned to the next upcoming weeks. We're going to start showing you guys videos on husbandry, on different shrimps that we're actually going to be taking to, that's right, Aquashella. It's fast approaching, and we have a lot to do, but we're taking the time for you guys to show you what we're bringing down and how to take care of it. So when we're down in Aquashella, that's June 12th and 13th down in Orlando. If you're going to be there, which thousands of people are, make sure to stop by our booth and say hi and say, hey, we saw your video. Now, as always, the big question, your tank or mine?